What's up, everyone? Alastiir here, and here are Friggy and myself's thoughts on 4.0. Everything we just heard from Exile Con on day one. I didn't think to include much of stuff from day two because it was really just a bit more clarification, a bit more extra stuff. And honestly, a lot of the big questions that we were wondering didn't really get answered. But overall, it's just a wealth of information. ExileCon was an amazing thing to view. If you haven't seen it, I recommend you go watch the VODs, watch the videos that they put on their YouTube. It was great, honestly. 4.0 looks like it's really getting to shape up nicely. Obviously, it's not for anytime soon. But hey, for when it will be there, I'll be playing it. I'll be playing it with Virgie and along with everybody else that wants to come hang out. As always, you can catch me on Twitch at the same name as this channel. And hey, more content hopefully to come soon. Take it easy, everyone, and enjoy the video. 4.0. A lot of stuff. Man, okay, first off, fucking dope. Looks fucking dope.
I want to know who picked this one out of that. Like, if you're betting, what was the 4.0 announcement? I wonder how many people said, dude, it's totally a sequel. Wasn't that one of our, like, fever dream ones? Like, it's like, if you could have anything, what would it be? You'd be like, yeah, just give me a sequel where you revamp the entire game.
That kind of feeds into what my fever dream had been, where it was just like, I just want the game, but just rework it from the ground up, new engine, new everything, and new everything. So that totally feeds in that. If they address the performance, this is more like we're launching a new game. So it's like, it's almost taking my fever dream, and if all the performance and stuff is like addressed, then it's kind of going even further beyond, which is pretty impressive. Anyway,
when I saw that, I was like, I was really happy.
Yeah, same. Like, first reaction was definitely just like, this is sick, because it offers new gameplay for veterans of just people who have been playing the acts over and over for years and just being like, here's a new way to play through the game. Offers a massive expansion of content that goes beyond that with 19 new ascendancies, meaning 19 new ways to like think of that. Their new skill gem system allowing you to actually have systems of play where you're not as dependent on that 1 6 link or 2 6 link that you have to build around, where you can, if you want to, build around a lot of other things. And then also the already new archetype presented of like shapeshifting. But overall, really, it's just, I was looking at it and just looking at the demo, just the slow feel of just, here's a fat ass fucking boss with really awesome animations and attacks, and you are going to die.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the best thing, because a PoE 2 allows them to basically make the game as hard as they want it to be without screwing with anything, because it's a new game.
Yeah, and like, if people find that too hard, they can just play PoE 1. And go through the story through PoE 1, and that content is going to be harder. They did say they wanted to normalize difficulty and do balancing, but it's still like mechanically going to not necessarily be like the same. Yes, Boss Hog, you jeweler gems now. We will get to that. But yeah, just first impression, watching the trailer, watching like the gameplay, the live demo with Chris and Jonathan, I think it was just really sick. Like, especially, if anything, before we even delve into the details of the content, just how polished it looked to be played there. Because it's straight up, I was straight up like getting flashback to watching the D4 demo being played just a few weeks prior, and just being like, yeah, this is been worked on so much more.
Oh yeah, has way more work. I mean, like I said, the D4 demo that they showed off, I'm like, this shit is pre-alpha. I mean, technically it's not pre-alpha, but it's alpha, because I'm like, there's nothing in this.
It also just shows so well what Chris meant when he was saying all this time we're making 4.0 to be a D4 competitor, because like that, like the feel, the rework, the animations, the visuals, the gameplays, even just the change of the core system to keep the complexity but make it accessible to a new wave of players is just such like we're launching a new, nearly essentially ARPG that will get the people who like D2 and, you know, maybe like PoE, maybe like D3, that want the next generation of ARPG to come play our game. Like, it really felt like, yeah, this is a Diablo fucking game. They talk about how we were going to switch back and forth. Yes, they did, Boss Hog. Okay, anyway, I think that'll wrap up the just initial, at least, reaction to what they showed. Okay, well, we can go into the list of on their Exile Con website. The first thing they have to say is the 19 new Ascendancy classes. So each character now has 3 Ascendancy classes tied to PoE 1 or PoE 2. And we saw a couple of those. We saw the 3
All
Ranger ones, essentially, right?
Yeah, all Ranger.
Except for like 2 or 4 nodes on each.
Yeah, except for 2 or 4 nodes on each.
What'd you think of the Ranger? What'd you think of the Ranger like ones that we saw so far?
Interesting. They feel more generic, which is good. Like they weren't anything crazy where it was like tied to a specific skill. Like the Barrage one made me happy when it was just like it's all of them. It's not just like Herald of Agony he gets buff. I'm like, cool, if I want to use Herald of Agony, I'm playing a Pathfinder, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I thought the close combat specialist is going to be interesting. I want to see how that turns out. Just because it's just so interesting where you're like, yeah, you're playing a melee build with a bow.
Yeah, just the fact that you can utilize bows as melee weapons is going to be...
like, how's that going to work?
It's going to be fascinating. I really just hope... I hope that at the start, or at the next preview, they just show some gimmicky as fuck shit where you're just holding the bow from the edge of the bow and slapping them with the fucking wooden bit. Just like, sting, ding, ding. Like, that would be amazing. Anyway, it's pretty sweet. They did kind of keep a bit of that archetype idea, but I agree with you in that it doesn't feel as, I'd say, maybe forced or shoehorned. Like, for example, there's the shapeshifting one, right? Which gives you access to the new shapeshifting form that is exclusive to it. But it's not like saying, if you want to do werewolf, you gotta play me. It's saying, here's a new skill that's tied to this. And this whole, like, specific skills tied to the Ascendancy is actually something I kind of like. Where it's like, these are extra skills. And you go into them. But you don't have to play them at all if you just want to play the generic archetype of, you know, if you want to play a shapeshifter, you can do other things. And it didn't even look that insane. It was like shapeshifters do like 10% more damage or something, and then you get like the extra duration of the extra shapeshifter buff if you wanted. But that's not that ridiculous, you know, like 10% less damage on a shapeshifter. I'm sure you can make it up in some other ways of getting damage on some other Ascendancy, right? Like, it's not that ridiculous. So that was pretty sweet.
And we have to understand something else. We're seeing 19 new Ascendancy classes. Really, it's probably closer to 38. Because odds are they're going to rework the original 19.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But they're just not the same anymore.
The closer, I think that the ones that have been reworked this year are going to look much more similar to how they currently are, because they've clearly been making, and they mentioned this a lot today, that they've been making a lot of changes to the game to incrementally push towards how the state would be in 4.0. Like, it's like 4.0 it doesn't look like they just want to be like, okay, this is how the game's going to be for a year, and then come 4.0, we're changing out PoE 1 and we're introducing PoE 2. It's like they're really incrementally changing PoE 1. It almost feels like when they're launching PoE 2, they want PoE 1 to essentially be a finished product by then and just be like, all right, this is now the 1 through 10 and that shit. And like they're obviously going to do balancers and stuff overall, but they're just like, this is how it is. We're not just suddenly changing absolutely everything from PoE 1. Like the lab changes that they said they maybe wanted to experiment with, like getting Ascendancy through lab before PoE 2 came out. And, just the reworking of the character animations that they want to start to get in and the character models that they want to start to get in and that kind of stuff. And, like the engine and the rendering, like it's good. It's good that they're doing that incrementally because it also avoids this huge pressure of just the like everything's broken. What the fuck do we do now? Anyway,
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
I just say yeah. I mean, for the most part, that's how it's gonna be. I think. Like, I just think that it's a good overall change for the entire game, and that fact that they're going to reanimate everything. And finally, like I said, the only thing I want is just please mechanically be good. Just please.
Yeah.
Please stop playing bad. Don't crash my computer because I hit a do not die pack.
That's everyone's dream. That's everyone's dream.
The ultimate. And... That's my only dream.
But honestly, with a full rework, it's like you have a better chance of doing that. You know, you have a better chance as they're just like, here's an entirely new thing, all the acts and everything, and they're building towards new endgame and everything. It's like, this is how they can try to get rid of some of that technical debt, which we were talking about, which was the one thing I said I really was hoping they were going to address, right? Their technical debt. And that's good. So yeah, the 19 new Ascendancy classes is obviously really cool. It looks like they're really taking an approach of just being like, here's some very interesting new things you can do with Ascendancies. Especially because they're planning them with the tie-ins to that new system, right? Like giving you a skill means you have a new 6th link now. It's a lot of things. The whole like Ascendancy trees leveling up with you or leveling up with Ascendancy progression is also very interesting. For like bone armor that they mentioned, for example, that they're probably going to be modifying bone armor to become like that later. So it really looks like they're trying to make Ascendancies just better overall, and I'm just happy that this is what they're doing. And to that one intern that gets Scion, has to design the Ascendant and Descendant, get help.
The ultimate Ascendant. It's 38 classes long.
There are professionals around. They are there and available. GGG will provide you with the resources required to not have to fucking shoot yourself to make any sense of that horrible mess.
That Scion was a mistake.
Okay, moving on to the new skill gem system. And this one is the one that had the most questions. So, Boss and Will, if you guys have things, click on the pick. What pick? This pick? Are you talking about fucking Clown McGee with his chainsaw? Click on the pick. Up. What? This? What, the new character select screen? Yeah, the new character select screen is fucking badass. Is that what you're talking about? Look at Shadow? What about him? So whenever I look at Shadow, I just think of Seth's fucking intro to Shadow. Oh, that's Duelist, right? This is Duelist. Oh, this is Shadow. Yeah. No, you're right. And this is Templar.
Yeah, it's Templar, Scion, Marauder, Ranger.
Templar has pants.
Duelist, Shadow.
This game is dead. This game is dead to me.
Dude, the question is, does he have giraffe neck?
If doesn't even look like it. It's a skirt thing? I don't know. It's kind of dark. We'll see. We'll see.
I mean, I don't think that model's really done yet, so they're like hiding it out as much as possible.
Hiding his pants. It's not okay. This is serious business. Alright, so new skill gems. New skill gem system. We now by default have 9 times 6, right? Are the slots that we have. So previously we had what? 3 plus 3 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4. We had 24? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we have 54.
Oh yeah, I mean it's way more. Because beforehand it was, at best, 2 6 links, 3 4 links, and if you had a one-handed shield, it was 2 3 links.
Yeah.
Unless you're using onset rings, and you get an extra fucking link.
So
an extra socket.
So technically, we've gained 30 sockets. No, that doesn't seem to make sense.
I mean, the biggest thing is it's more for supports.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's mostly just that, and that's what I was going to say, is that it's like, it's not actually 30, because all of the things where you'd have 4 links of 4 active gems, those aren't a thing anymore now. You need the meta ones, I'm pretty sure, from what I understood.
Yes.
So, that is going to make having a lot of utility skills slightly more complex than it used to, or than it currently is. Because you no longer can just be like, all right, I'm gonna slap molten shell in that thing, and that's my one link, and I'm gonna also slap in next to it my flame dash and my clarity and my Brolin. And we're not, I mean, we're gonna have to wait to see the metas, but I don't know if there's gonna be metas that allow you to put all those things in.
I think a lot of the meta gems are going to be things where you would have multiple active skill gems that are similar in properties. So like the aura one is the easy one, where it's going to be like, yes, here's a meta gem that you can fit in 6 fucking auras if you felt like it.
Right, and that's what I'm saying is what is going to be limiting a lot of the different, like, potentially small choices where you're just like, I just want one, what are they called? The steel skin style things? Guard skills, I believe. Yeah, I just want one guard. Like, that's it. Was asking for when you want two and two links on gloves, specific gems that fucks it up. Or like Flame Dash when you don't want links to it. As far as we know, unless we get a sort of open meta skill, you can't do that. If you just want your Flame Dash to not be tied to anything else,
just drop the
put anything in.
Yeah, it's essentially you have a 1 socket item. So the way the new skill system work is there is very little reason not, like, they're basically pushing you to have support. Like, you're just limiting yourself if you don't. Because it's like, yeah, I mean, what about my unlinked Flame Dash? Well, sure, now you're just going to have faster casting, increased duration, shit like that, and just a bunch of random things on top of it. And hey, Flame Dash will do a little bit of extra damage, but
reduce mana. You can always throw in reduce mana so that it costs less.
And I think the reason they did that is to give more shit skill, like support gems, a little bit better place to shine. Like a reduced mana is like a great example.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're never gonna use, like, on your primary skills, you never use it. It's just never happening. But I got a Flame Dash. Yeah, I can see someone fucking throwing on as a 6 link. Yeah, throw in a reduced mana. Who the hell cares? Or throw in Blood Magic.
Yep.
Without having to be worried about it. Like, oh, do I have enough sockets still?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. But it is very true that it pushes towards having a number of your skills that might not necessarily benefit. It's basically, I feel like the thing is, this is going to cause a large shift in meta of how we build characters, because we're going to have to start taking these things into account now. Because, for example, with all these things, with this, if you take the game right as it is, you take it out with all the skill gems that exist and everything, and you just put in this skill gem system, I can tell you, I am never using Flame Dash. I'm going to use that Lightning Warp skill. Because, hey,
why not?
If I just have the links, and I don't give a shit about a link on Flame Dash, faster casting to me is relatively pointless because most of the time I'm locked by charges. So it's like I'd go faster casting, then I guess enhance for quality to have charges faster, but even then it's like you're probably, if you're getting faster casting, you're going to run out of charges anyway. And your first cast is instant, so it's only really good for repetitive casts. But if your goal is repetitive cast, then it sucks because, you know, you're going to dash, 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 oh, you're out of charges. Whoops, I guess you got to wait now. So I'm just going to go Lightning Warp. Because as a 6-link Lightning Warp, yeah, you can make that shit fast. Fucking go lesser duration. Fucking go the enhance in quality so that it goes faster. Fucking go, if you want Blood Magic to make it, on whatever, you get that, like, Void Manipulation or whatever it is. One of those types of things that, like, lowers its duration. And, less duration gem. What other things can you throw on it? Like, yeah, fast casting, less duration, Void Manip, enhance, and...
What, Lightning Warp?
Yeah, Lightning Warp. Like, you just, I'm trying to think of a fifth one, but it's so easy already to have a 5-link and just be like, yeah, you know, good shit. And then last one, yeah, sure, less mana, why not?
Less mana, or maybe like Intensify or.
So it's gonna be
innovate.
It's gonna be interesting to see how we start building around that, because we know now we're gonna know. We have these skills that we can try to really fully use, but it's all going to boil down to what are the meta skills that let us have a lot of those one pieces, right? The things that just, I just want an anime guardian with like minion life. Like maybe there's going to be a meta for just like have some minions, right? And then you just put anime guardian, minion life, your Brolem.
Dude, like I can see
maybe you throw in some zombies and some meat shield, and there you go. It's like
that's what I'm thinking. Like that's how I would do it. Meat shield would become a meta gem, in my opinion. And it's a meta gem where it's for summoners to have things that just stand by you. So you could put like specters in it, you could put zombies in it, you could put whatever, like Anime Guardian. Because the whole point of it is that it's all the same thing. Like, remember, I had to buy you like 2 meat shields and 2 feeding frenzies for the same damn reason. It's just like, oh yeah, I want my SRS to have it, but I also want my zombies or my skeletons to have it. So make it a meta gem where it's like, cool, you can just throw all 3 and a couple of extra supports.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's really what it's going to boil down to, is what they decide to make meta gems. Yeah. For Flame Dash, there's no sockets. I don't believe that's possible. They said that other than unique items where the developer of the unique item would specify that they don't want the skill to be linked to anything, every single gem that drops has can't roll under 3 sockets. It's got like, yeah, minimum of 3. You don't have to socket anything in them, but it's got 3 sockets. The thing is, it doesn't matter if it only had 1. Like, what would that change? Whether it's 3 open sockets that you don't socket anything into, or no open sockets that you don't socket anything into, you're still not getting the rest of the 5 sockets free for anything else, because all the sockets are tied to the jeweler. I mean, to the gem itself. So there's no scenario in this new thing in which less sockets is ever useful. But that's kind of fun, because that's very much a reflection of current PoE. There's never a situation in which you're like, I really want 3-socket gloves. Maybe 3-link gloves, sure, but 3-socket? No. Does that mean we only have 9 active gems? No, because of meta skills. That's what we were explaining. Like, for example, there's a meta support that lets you socket multiple auras in there. So you could just have like here the meta support gem that gives like all linked auras minus 5% reservation. and then you would link like hatred, discipline, anger in here, and then when you use this meta support, it would do all these auras. So one button would make all 3 auras pop up. So yeah, you're not limited to 9 actives. You're limited to 9 primary slots. Some of these primary slots are active gems, others are meta support gems. That's basically it. But yeah, overall, I think what they were trying to achieve here of the beyond fixing some of the previous systems, which I think we've kind of discussed already, like how that improves upon them. They really were trying to achieve a system where it's like you can pick up a gem, it has value, and also you can go and be like, where can I socket this? And you can socket it in any one of the, like, it'll highlight where you can socket it as well, so people don't accidentally misuse gems and do like dumb shit and then get, frustrated because their setup's not working. And also the fact that you can swap out items constantly, because all items drop with the same colors. So, if you're leveling like a wander or like a caster, and you're just using wands and they have 2 blue, you can swap new shield, swap it on, new wand, swap it on. Like, it doesn't matter because all of them are going to have that same base blue socket with which you get everything else. Like, it definitely looks like it's going to be very smooth for leveling as a whole. Quality on gems does increase chances of sockets, yes. Has been answered during QA. Okay. Anything else on the new skill gem system?
Not that I can think of.
Will, do you have any other questions? Anyone else? Or are we good to go to the equipment? Nope. Alright, equipment time. All new equipment. Entire new progression has been redone. So these are like simultaneously kind of reworks and new item types, which is interesting. So as we can see here, it shows what the sockets they drop worth, right? So it's like when you have an item, this is 3 red and a green. Every time I get a 200 axe, it'll always be 3 red and a green. As long as it's the strength dex varieties, at least.
Yeah.
Same thing with body armor. In terms of stats,
it's all the same.
It's all the same.
Like, I really didn't get this section.
Yes.
I mean, I guess what they're really showing is just the new art.
Yeah.
Some of the new art's pretty good.
Yeah, basically it's just that. It's just like they're actually making it look like new, and a lot of the models are new, and the models are also new in game. And I mean, if you looked at the, I mean, yeah, you saw the playing demos. The armor actually in game looks really good.
Oh yeah, the painted tower shield looks like an actual painted tower shield. It's not like this cookie you're holding.
And also like the metallic armor like pieces that you wear on you, and even something as simple as like the helmet. It's just like it looks genuinely good, which is really what helps like bump it up to that kind of next tier of just game, because your character doesn't look like a hobo with a bucket for like 40 hours. Then upgrades the hobo with some skull of some fucker he killed on a beach. Like, it's actually really cool. And I think that's also going to help drag people in, because people like to look good as characters, you don't want to look like shit, which is why people spend so much money on MTX. But this helps because it means you don't have to feel like, oh, well, they're, I'm looking like absolute garbage until I'm willing to spend like $20 on buying something. So yeah. Other than the socket system, which we've kind of already established in the new skill gem system, that is tied to each, every single base has its things, and I'm kind of sad that they didn't go into the gem color rerolling at all. I wish we knew more about that, but we'll know it down the line.
Wait, what? What about the colors?
Because rerolling item on the gear, I mean, rerolling like socket colors on gear, we know how that's going to work. It's going to be chromatics. But how the hell are skill gems going to reroll for socket colors? Because seeing as you socket support gems into skill gems, I'm just really curious. If I'm playing a base blue skill with 5 off color supports, is that AIDS? Am I going to spend 2,000 chromes trying to re-roll my BV into being 5 off color or not? Like, that's something I'm just curious about.
That's what I was considering. Is going to be really interesting to see. Now, the easy way out of that is that they don't. I mean, maybe that's part of the challenge they're going with, where it's you might run into a situation where they're not going to weigh it, but trying to get like blue, like blue, red when you're playing like some sort of like crazy cast on crit setup or something is not going to be easy, and that's the challenge. That's the hard part, to get it to be perfect, where you get to use all the supports you want. It's going to take you some investment.
Yeah, it's interesting. But it definitely makes it harder. Because before, you just had to change the item you equipped it in. And honestly, bases other than ES were never really relevant.
I mean, here's the real question. Can I just Varici this shit?
Yeah, that's how is Varici going to work with it. But the way they were talking about the current systems, it really feels like they want to have the current systems to go and fit into the next systems. So my original assumption would be you can. But now what's weird is I guess they're going to have to let Varici do his thing on both normal gear and on gems.
Yeah, it would only be gems almost, because I mean, I guess you could change.
We still have to recolor. You have to color.
Like the 2 sockets you have or the 4 sockets you have, you can probably change those. But like, you don't get any more sockets. It's not like you can jeweler your weapon to get like another socket. It's like no. Your chest just has 2. That's all it's ever going to have.
Except for all kinds of different exceptions.
Yeah.
If like things that give you a skill.
Yeah.
Because that technically gives you a third one. It's just that the skill is already socketed in. Yeah. There's also ones that like seem to just have an additional one, like as part of the thing, like Tabula Rasa. Tabula Rasa is just 3 white.
Yeah, which I thought was really interesting, but at the same time, rest in peace, Deb.
Yeah, I feel like if they want Tabula to still be good, you have to put a modifier in it that says that gems socketed into this item have all white sockets. That's the only way to actually make it still good, in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it needs something else, because like I said, that's.
But it might be. We just don't know
situation it. Yeah, but I'm saying like 3 whites in that situation aren't important.
No,
like it was never. The whites were never like. It was the fact that it was a 6 link. Mm-hmm. That's all it was. Like, so that's gonna be interesting when you don't. Well, I guess so, because I mean, I guess you could just buy a 6 linked or 6 socket or whatever we're gonna call it now, just gem. So like at level 12, if you have the 6 link version, you're just gonna use that instead of a tabula.
Yeah, it's also that's very interesting. Actually, you don't need tabs anymore. You need 6 link skills, and 6 link skills, whilst higher eye level, don't necessarily have to be higher actual level.
Yeah, they should be the exact same.
And also, Will's saying something interesting in chat here. Is like saying uniques like shavs and everything, the price is going to be affected because like he's saying like how base shavs is like 30C, but 6 link shavs is like 8 exalts. But they don't need links anymore. So probably items, it's just items are going to go down in value and gems are going to go up in value. Now, if you're that fucker with 21, 23 6-link summon zombies in Blight League 2.0, you are sitting on a mirror or multiple. No, they're not introducing a market. That's the point. It wants to be more cancerous because now you have to trade with other people for the gems you equip. After spending years fighting for vendors to just sell us the damn gems, they take it all away.
Here you go. Now it's pointless because you gotta hit 6 links. I mean, the other half is it could be irrelevant and it's too easy to get 6 sockets, and then nothing has value.
Yeah, no, they generally they want it to be as hard to be fully 6-linked as it currently is to be basically double 6-linked. So getting single 6-links is going to be pretty easy. Getting multiple is going to be pretty hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they stick around with a kind of a 350 average for like 6 jewel ring, 6 socketing.
Yeah, but that's a 6-link.
Yeah, it is, but if they want you to get if they want you getting 9 6-links to be about as hard as getting 1 to 2 right now, then that means you'll need an average of like 3,200, 3,050, no, 3,150, sorry, jewelers to get to what you would normally get. See what I mean?
Yeah, but if you take that number, divide it by... Okay, take that number and then divide it by 4.
Yeah, so you're at about 850, 900.
Yeah, which is... It's 1,500 currently without bullshit to get a 6. So like I said, that's the numbers game I want to see.
It's actually 1,200, not 1,500, because 20% quality.
Yeah, but no, I'm talking like reaching that shit. It's 15.
Okay, yeah.
Because that's supposed to be, that was the old base, whereas like, yeah, it take you about 1,500 to get a 6 line.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a slight discount, but I don't think it's a huge problem because like honestly I don't think you should be really like 6 links are just a hassle. Like it's just something you have to do. It's not fun. It's not it's
but that's what I'm saying is I don't think they're gonna make it necessarily as hard to. I think they're gonna make it a bit maybe more than 350, but not that much more to just get a 6 socket. Because anyway, after that you still have to roll the colors, and they're okay with you getting 6 links because they're balancing the game with the idea that people are going to have 6 links. And also, Will raises another important point of there's no more 6 socket vendor recipe. So you're gonna lose out on a lot of jewelers because most of the jewelers we generate are through vending 6 sockets.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big thing. It's like jewelers are gonna be much more rare.
Yep.
Now you're gonna pick up jewelers.
I mean, I always did. It's just that now you don't get to pick them up 7 at a time by picking up items because they don't exist anymore. The real question is, does 6 socket gem vendor for 7 jewelers?
That'd be the best. No, it's gotta be divine. It's gotta be.
Divine, yeah, probably.
No, it's 1 JCP. Just to troll you.
Hey, no more shit 5 links.
Yeah, that's the bet. 5 links, or no more shit 5 links.
But yeah, the new equipment's gonna look cool. And you still get to, if you want that classic old style hobo feel, you get to go play PoE 1. Tabula, no. Tabula is not the best leveling item anymore, it seems.
Not even close. Tabula is going to be very, very low. Unless they add something to it.
Yeah, I honestly think they're going to add something to it. Because right now it's like, having one extra thing is just not worth it. Because of how easy it's going to be to just swap out gear as you progress.
Yeah.
And just have already access to 9 things anyway. Like, worst case scenario, it's like, you don't equip a chest and you have access to only 7, but who needs more than 7 like potentially 6 link skills whilst you're not wearing a chest piece anyway? Like the speed you would have gotten from Tabula is
like
is lost because you don't have to put those gems into a tabula anymore to have a 6-link at level 1. You can just put them in like your gloves.
Yeah. That's why I think like things like amazingly 1,000 ribbons is now better than a tabula. Because 1,000 ribbons actually does something.
Yeah. No, as I said, it's just they'd have to make like the gems socketed in them have 6 white slots. That way, it's like you don't actually need to have the 6 socket thing. It's like,
and then you have, dude. What are they gonna do with Diallo's Malefaction, dude? What are they gonna do with it? It's completely pointless now. Oh, it's not.
No.
But it's, oh, wait, oh, that's true.
Diallo's Malefaction is actually better than before because now you can have 12 gems in it.
That's true. You can have beefy gems. I forgot you can change the main color sockets. So I'm like, you know what you have to do?
Yeah, like, won't they count the color of the
skill gem? Yeah, that's true. It's probably going to. It has to.
All right, we don't know. It's gonna be weird, but it's not gonna be dead.
No, I mean, there's gonna be always the skill gem leveler.
Yeah. When you level up your skills, you can add more jewelers to get more links while you're leveling. No. Okay, so the gems are tied to eye level to be able to get a certain amount of sockets. So I don't. There was an image somewhere. I think it was like 20 something and then 50 or something. I think it was like maybe something like 15, then 30, then 50 or something. But basically around level 50, which is how it used to be, you if you drop an eye level 50 fireball, you can then jeweler it to be at 6. Your fireball that you start with, even if you get to level 50, like equivalent with it, you can't jeweler it past 3. The way they're making it not be cancer to just have to re-level a gem as soon as you re-drop it at a higher level that way is you can now vendor a gem to transfer all of its XP into another gem that's the same. So if you have 2 fireballs, but one's level 10, one's level 1, you can essentially do some sort of vendor recipe to transfer all the XP from the level 10 to the level 1, making the level 1 a level 10 one. How's that gonna work? In terms of if you make a 6 socket one, is it gonna come with a level requirement? I don't think so, but we don't know. Maybe they will, because maybe they don't want people to have access to 6 links at level 1. But then again, that's Twink gear anyway, because at that point you'd have already had to drop it at level 50, at like level 50. So are they opposed to Twink 6 links? I mean, there was tabula in the game forever.
I don't think so. I think that, like I said, I think it's going to be like, it's your skill. So, like, whenever you get your skill, you just have the 6-link version of the skill. Like, and that's your 6-link. So, like, if you're playing, like, Arc, you just have a level 12 Arc sitting around that's already ready to go that has 6 sockets. And you just go to town on that.
Yeah. That's how I think it's going to go. But we'll see.
I think it's going to be nutty because, I mean, that means twinking could be even scarier because a good twink would be twinking everything. You have 6 socket leap slam, you have 6 socket main skill, you have 6 socket other skills, 6 socket. It's just going to be ridiculous. You're just going to be like, okay, I have 9 6-links.
Inside of your temple gloves that gives you a metric fuck ton of damage, level 1.
Yeah. Dude, by the way, is Skin of the Whale now busted? And like Toon Fist?
What happens to plus level of socketed gems? Does it only affect the socketed gem, or does it affect all the gems that are in the link?
It would be all the gems in the link, I would assume.
So what you're saying is plus 3 unsets are the new most broken items in the game.
Yes. If they don't remove that mod, they're fucked.
Because
it's just straight.
It's just here you have Empower level 4. Except it applies to all of the gems, not just your active. Yeah, that sounds balanced.
That's gonna be good. There's so many balancing things they have to do. Like right now, Shred of the Lightless is like basically the best chest in the game. Or would. Because you're
The
like,
one with
cool.
elemental penetration?
Yeah, the one with elemental penetration and an abyss socket. Because that means you get elemental penetration on both. So now it's a 7-link.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the fact that you get an abyssal socket for free.
No, you can get 2,
no
dude.
doubt.
It makes the... Oh, did they remove the 2 version?
Yes.
Right, they
Due
removed
to
the
the
2 version.
because it was bad beforehand because you never wanted
Yeah,
the 2.
because I was going to say, now it's like you want the 2 now.
Yeah, now the 2 existed, it'd be the better version. But, like, yeah, so, like, think about that, though. Like, you literally have a chest that's a 7-link chest that has an abyss socket.
Well, it's 2 7-links chest plus an abyss socket.
Yeah, 2 7-link chests. And then, like, Tomb Fist is, like, 2 abyssal sockets. There are no downsides. Because you just use your clothes with multiple 6-links. So who gives a shit? Like, it makes abyss sockets retardedly strong.
Just 9. Well, not 6 D-links, 9 D-links, but yes. Yeah, no, it does. Fucking abyssal fossils. OP.
They're gonna be worth a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to consider, but it's very interesting.
I think it's a lot. I mean, I want to see more, which is why tomorrow's going to be really good. Because I really want to see someone sit down. Like, Mathel playing 4.0 is going to be way more interesting. Because, like, Mathel knows how to play. Like, the Crypt one was, like, cool, but the same problem with the Crypt one was, like, you could tell Crypt had no fucking clue what the hell was going on.
Yeah, he was going around just smacking shit.
Aloha.
Yo.
Hello.
No, I was just saying, like, just say you're doing a minion build, yeah? And you're leveling through. And a minion gem never drops, only like melee and spells. How are you ever going to get more links if a minion gem doesn't drop with a higher item level?
Well, there's 2 solutions to that. The first off is vendors still sell gems. So if vendors still have gem eye level tied to your character level, then you just have to go buy the gem back from the vendor at higher level.
Go back. Okay,
if somehow that's removed, which I would very much doubt, then you're left with the other option of this: you have to trade it off someone.
I'm pretty sure they said that. They've already said that it's going to be that the vendor is still there.
Okay, that makes sense.
I know we know the vendor's still there. I don't recall them saying anything about the eye level being modified.
That would be really. It'd be the only vendor where that doesn't happen.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's I would doubt it. It's not impossible, but I would doubt it.
I put it in the very highly improbable that's going to not work that way.
Definitely in the.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. That was just confused me. If you got unlucky, never got like a minion gem to drop with a higher item level, you'd never be able to like have multiple links of higher. That makes sense, I suppose. Going back to the original vendor. Okay, that makes sense.
Alright, so that was the equipment, and then we have the and much more. The all the changes we don't know yet. The how are they reworking the entire passive tree, because they said they wanted to.
That's hilarious. I cannot wait for 2.4.0 passive tree.
Yeah.
They look like new towns, don't they?
Yeah, new towns. We know we more or less got told 5-ish of the styles of zones from the art director.
I heard you saying that a while ago, yeah. Pretty neat.
And then as we said, looking to start a beta end of next year. And then release,
we have a whole year.
Assuming probably 2021, like mid 2021 or end.
Yeah, I think summer 2021.
I could.
Oh, for the release.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought Tarky said it was December 2020.
Well, do you listen to what Tarky says?
No. True.
Like they said straight up, it's on the thing. It's like we're looking at beta at late 2020.
All right,
Very
he didn't
late.
specify
least
beta.
last 6 minutes. It's the last
Yeah.
least the last
I
3
mean,
to...
no, it's fine. Yeah, Turkey said that. Turkey said that because they hadn't caught the last presentation. No,
Yeah.
they said they intended on having the beta begin at the end of the year. I think he heard like from someone else or something, and so he thought that it was releasing for December.
Damn, so we're a
2020.
long way.
But
away from
December
4.0.
isn't the release; it's the release of the beta, not of the actual finished thing.
Damn, so we're a good bit away from 4.0.
Yeah, we're actually, it might not be that wild to expect that 4.0 and D4 come out at relatively similar time periods.
No, I actually think it's... I honestly don't put D4 until 2022.
Does it have a set release date?
See,
Yet, no?
if they were, if
I
this
don't think
were
they're
old
close.
Blizzard, if this were old Blizzard, I would agree with you, Steven. But seeing how badly they have repeatedly pushed for putting out content before it's ready over the past number of games that they've launched, I would not be surprised
Immortal.
if they push it for 2021.
God, it'd be such a mistake though.
Oh yeah, I completely agree. But I'm just saying, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so anything else other on the page? So we talk about the Ascendancies, Range Ascendancies, the new campaign, so a new alternate way to level, the shape-shifting thing that we have, which is going to be awesome. It looked really sweet, the socket system and the rework. No, I think that's all.
The lab thing.
The lab, yeah, so we're not going to ascend through lab in the new thing, and they're probably removing story lab. So no mention of Uber. Uber's still probably going to be there for both because it's endgame, but normal Cruel Merc lab seem to potentially be getting rolled out for both PoE 1 PoE 1 and PoE 2.
Good.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Nope.
Bridgie, any closing thoughts or anything you want to say?
Did you show what Arcanist was about? No. I see
Nope.
it there in the red thread. All right.
You just saw the concept art.
Oh, okay.
We know it's lightning based and that it's going to work all with lightning. That's what they said.
Interesting.
All right. Oof.